Hey, hello, bom dia, tudo bem? Bem-vindo. Welcome to another Charlie's Guitar Stroke Recovery video log. And thanks for watching my video. I'll just start right off by saying that. Hey, I got an interesting comments last week on my video, and a couple people asked me, well, what are you doing, right, to build up your right hand? So I'm going to do a tip each week in the beginning, just so I can show you what I'm doing. And one of the things is this finger band right here. My son got me that, and he said, Dad, I think you can get a lot of mileage out of this. And you know what? He was absolutely right. So this has been a big help in my recovery. And I kind of get really creative with the band, because then I try to do this, with the fingers, and then switch, and then do this, right? And I do that with all the fingers, and then I do an exercise like this, right? Just stretching them and getting them stronger and stronger, all right? So this has been a saving grace for me, and it's really, because these fingers weren't moving at all. And I was praying and hoping that someday they would. But when I first started, it was like, now I got different colors, and each color represents a amount of resistance that these finger therapy little bands do. But I remember when I first started, it was like this. But through just keep working and exercising and never quitting, this helped me out a lot. So I hope this helps you. And try those finger bands. They work really, really good. My tune this week it's kind of interesting tune. I think it's a strong country flavor. And I got the idea again for this week's practice from Brian Sherrill from ActiveMelody.com. The military is still in me. Now I altered it, but he gives us great ideas on how to practice and why. So, and try different things. The chords are interesting. I'm going to try to show them. I had to write them down on the computer screen because there's so many. And just taking my time with it, I got to slow down and show you. So the first chord was a B minor. Second chord was a lovely E7. Next chord was an A major 7, and I played it right here in the 5th position. That's a pretty chord. And then, of course, I had an F7th. Back to that B minor. Back to the E7. And then I did a series that's kind of cool. It do an A to a D7. Back to that A, and then trashed, and moved over to, I can't speak today, a C sharp 7. And then from there was really interesting, because then I found a way to use a diminished chord. So I started out with this F sharp minor, and went to an F diminished, not F sharp. Back to this F sharp minor, back to this F diminished, back to this again, then I went to a B7th, and I went to an E7th, and closed out with an A major 7. And it would start again with a B minor. So anyways, so interesting chord progressions. Some of the licks I used were in the A major scale, but I added an extra note in that A major scale. Now I know they used to call that the Dickie Betts scale from Allman Brothers, because that's what he did. He added that one extra note to the major and minor pentatonic scales and the major scales. So it's kind of cool how he did that, and that's how he got his really cool sound. But anyways, I kind of started out with kind of a hammer here, And I went. Then I went. Kind of like that. Walk down. And a blues. Remember I told you it went to that A and D seventh and then C sharp seventh? Well, here was the thing I did to get into it. If I can do it. And then of course that's when it went into in a diminished chord. Well, I should say F sharp minor and diminished chord. The kind of lick I put in there was kind of went something like this. It went, if I can play it. Oh, guys, I'm such a mess. Let me do it again. That shows you I don't overdub my stuff. So here we go, one more time. I'm going to do it again. This might take for a while, so I hope you have your patience. Here we go. Oh. And then it did something like this. And a little. Well, as crazy as this was, that's what I worked on this week. I hope it made sense to you. And you can see it was such a challenge, even me just trying to show you how much of a challenge it was for this right hand this week. But don't forget, these bands right here were my saving grace. And I'll have another tip for you next week on what I did to strengthen that side. And again, the goal is to try to get this left hand to synchronize with this right hand. And it's a battle. But you know what? It's been a great journey at the same time. So, hey, with that said, I'm going to say, hey, look, have a blessed day. Keep going, stroke warriors, stroke survivors, any recovery survivors that's watching this video. Just keep going. Don't give up. All right. And I hope you like my video. And if you do, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me a story. I don't know. Tell me something. I'd love to hear from you. With that said, again, though, here we go. I'm going to say ciao for now.